And we're back. We are back with Keepers of Fire. We are now on chapter 11. Just a quick recap since it's been a while. The Morren sisters received a letter from a nobleman named Lord Pathros. He is requiring the Morren sisters to go and talk to him about a debt that their father owes him, that the late father owes him. And so Safira and Acinath are going. Atia wanted to go, but Safira has insisted that she stay behind because she just started work at the Old Wood Inn. So, anyway, chapter 11. The journey begins. The goodbye was a tearful one. Safira hugged them all at least a dozen times, and Acinath more so than her. Darrin stood off to the side as he waited for them to finish saying farewell. Obeying her original plan, Safira had very carefully assembled 300 Aries for the debt, praying she wouldn't have to spend it all. We'll be back as soon as we can, Safira promised Elise. The young widow smiled sadly. I know. Good luck, Safira, and don't worry about us. Everything will be fine. Nodding, Safira stepped aside to give Acinath her turn with Elise. Safira hadn't been overly precise in her explanation to Acinath on why she was coming instead of Mavea, but Acinath had guessed anyway. Luckily, she hadn't argued. Take care, Mavea, Safira said. And you too, Mara. The two youngest Morrens smiled and wept, promising to work hard and to be helpful. When Safira came to Atia, she held her tightly. I'm sorry, Atia. I truly am. Try to understand. Atia forced a smile. Don't worry yourself. I understand. Safira held Atia in her stare for a moment, and then embraced her one last time. She could still see the resentment in her sister's eyes, which pained her, but it could not be helped now. Over time, Atia would move past her disappointment. Safira only wished she didn't have to leave her like this. Well, when at last all was done, Darrin led them away from the farm, Acinath and Safira riding on one horse together, Darrin on the other. Lord Pathros's messenger didn't seem to mind that Acinath was coming along. In fact, he seemed to have expected it, remarking simply that you both have to ride together, when Safira had told him. The first few hours of the journey passed in silence, save for a little whispering as they crossed over the wall of the basin. Neither of the sisters had ever gone very far from home, and now, as the hills grew distant, a sad loneliness entered their hearts. Darrin seemed to notice their gloom, and after a while began making attempts to cheer them up. We'll reach Basin tomorrow, he said. It's the first town on our road. Have either of you been there? Sorry, I'm out of breath because I ran to get water. Have either of you been there? No, sir, Safira answered. We've never been outside the basin, at least not very far. Please, call me Darrin, the herald said with a laugh. I've no wish to make this journey with such a name as Sir. Doesn't suit me at all. I suppose you would wish to call us by our own names, then, Safira mused. Darrin shrugged. Well, I had reconciled myself to calling you both Miss Morren, but if I could have your real names, it would be much easier. Safira, isn't it? And your sister? There are so many of you back there, I rather lost track. There are 6 of us. This is Acinath. Shall we be friends, then, despite Lord Pathros? Darrin laughed again. Friends we shall be. Tell me something about yourselves. You say you've never left the basin? We've lived there our entire lives, Safira replied. Our parents left the farm to us when they passed away 5 years ago. Fine piece of property, from what I saw of it, Darrin commented. Several acres, Safira nodded. You work at all on your own? Between the six of us, it isn't too difficult. Pausing, Safira asked, How long have you been in Lord Pathros' service? 20 years, though I haven't 20 years, though I haven't always been his herald. I have held other positions in my youth. Safira looked at him. He couldn't be more than 10 years her senior. He must have been employed very young. After a moment's silence, Safira asked, Is Betinan a large town? I'd wager the population is comparable to Chestel. It looks smaller, but that's because it's a traveler's town. A traveler's town? Darrin nodded, then glanced over and quickly added, The kind of town that caters to travelers? Safira didn't hide her befuddlement. Lots of inns, he elaborated. Lots of stables, markets, and such. Business relies on travelers coming in and out. We'll be most welcome until they realize we don't plan on stopping. We'll pass through around midday. Isn't there enough local business? Acinath asked. Well, when you get enough passerby to fill up 3 or 4 inns, the locals don't need local business. Not that there isn't local business. There is, but travelers are the real source of coin. Why does it look small? It's like a small city. The houses are built close together and stacked 2 or 3 levels high. Everyone's so jammed tight you can have a conversation with your next door neighbor, and neither of you have to leave your home. Safira and Acinath exchanged horrified looks. How odd, Safira mused. Darrin laughed. Not terribly, as a matter of fact. We just lost a tree. Not terribly, as a matter of fact. Are the people there friendly? Safira couldn't imagine anyone being friendly in a setting like that. Friendly enough. They're used to strangers. He glanced at them again, eyes twinkling. This'll be a cheerful journey if a town like Basin excites you. And that's the end of chapter 11. So Darrin, Safira, and Acinath are off on their journey. And in the next chapter, in chapter 12, we will return to Chestel and Atia. Thanks for watching. And stand by for chapter 12.